I'm going to share with you life-changing micro habits to get you out of your lazy girl slump era and enter your healthy, productive, confident hot girl era. These small daily habits have helped me to become the woman that I want to be, and hopefully they will do the same for you.
Get ready.
If you're new here, hi, my name is Monia, and on this channel I teach you how to gain confidence, get out of your way, and become your baddest future self by establishing healthy habits and developing a power mindset. What are micro habits? As the name suggests, these are tiny habits that you can do easily and that do not take much time or effort. These habits should be ridiculously small, like meditating 5 minutes a day or reading 1 paragraph each night. To minimize effort, piggyback on a task or habit that you're already doing. For example, if you're making coffee in the morning, while the coffee's boiling, drink a glass of water. Do a little stretching routine for like 3 minutes. So in order to break this down for you and make this really simple, we have 5 chapters that we're going to talk about in this video. Let's start with the morning, because in the morning, this is really where you set yourself up for success for the rest of the day, the rest of the week, the rest of the month, the rest of the year. It all starts with your morning. Here are 4 tiny micro habits that really changed my life in the morning, and it is so easy to do. Drink water, but I cannot say this often enough. First of all, it's super important that you hydrate yourself. Super important for your gut health, super important for your brain health, super important for your general metabolic health that you are hydrated. Overnight, you're not drinking any water, of course, so you're going to be dehydrated in the morning. It also helps with digestion in the morning. It refreshes you. It literally wakes you up. Before I do anything else, even before I go to the toilet, I'm gonna drink a glass of water. It doesn't have to be lemon water. It doesn't have to be water with apple cider vinegar. It can just be a totally normal glass of water. Attach that little habit of drinking water to the first thing that you do in the morning anyway. I do a 7-minute workout every morning, and it's just this free app that I have. I've been doing this for like 3 years. I started during COVID. It's 7 minutes. It's nothing. I maybe do some stretching with it. Sometimes I do an app workout afterwards. It kind of depends on how much time I have. You do not need more movement in the morning. Just do something really small. Number 3 is journaling. And I know that a lot of people are like,
oh, I don't have the time for it, or I always need to really be super intense with my journaling and think about everything.
no, I don't do that. All I do is I have to write at least 1 sentence. 1 sentence is literally the minimum that I have to write, and that's all I do. Really, what you can do every day, and you don't have to go super deep, is just write down your goals for the day, your intention for the day, what will make you feel accomplished by the end of the day, so you have intentions for the day. Just write down your to-do list for the day. Like, do something. Just writing down words and putting it into paper of what you commit to this day is going to be life-changing. And then number 4 is make your bed. This is the first thing that will make you feel accomplished for the day, and that will give you empowerment for the rest of the day. You just need to make your bed. It takes like 2 seconds to do that, and it just makes you feel like a grown-up. You're taking care of yourself. You have your shit together. Just that tiny little habit of making your bed will literally already change the trajectory of your day. Chapter number 2 is hygiene. And the first thing that really is such a small habit that I established already when I was a teenager is just buy a nice body lotion. I have a number of nice body lotions at home. I just love getting out of the shower and putting body lotion on myself. I love to smell nice. I just love that feeling of taking good care of my body. Have a simple skincare routine. You do not need to overcomplicate this. Have a cleanser, have some moisturizer, have some SPF, sun protection for your skin, super important. These are the main steps that you need. Just a good cleanser, a good moisturizer, and that's it, an SPF. I have a few more steps in my skincare routine, but start off with the basics. Just have a skincare routine and make it really simple. The more complicated it is, the less likely you're going to stick to it. Next chapter, productivity. 1 micro habit that really has changed the way I work, and it's super, super simple, is just to set a timer. Set a timer for how long you're going to work. I use this little cube because sometimes I don't like to use my phone. I like to have my phone not in the same room because it's distracting. So I just set this timer 15 minutes, 5 minutes. I got this from Amazon. It's almost like when you're back in school and one class was 45 minutes or whatever, and then you just work and then you have a break. And you need to create that for yourself, because if you feel oh, I have so much work to do, and then it's the whole day and it's just this blob of time, it feels very overwhelming. But if you go in little increments of oh, I just set my timer for 30 minutes, or I'm gonna do this for an hour, then you're gonna be so much more focused, and you know that you can take a break afterwards, and you just get up, move around, maybe have a little snack, and then you can go back to to work. The next micro habit is writing things down that come into your head and putting them on the shelf for later. Sometimes when you work, you suddenly have urges to do something else. You have an idea, or you're like, oh, I need to do this. I need to make this appointment. Oh, or I want to look up this on Amazon. You have like these little things that come into your head that want to like distract you because the work that you're doing is maybe not that much fun, and you just want to like maybe browse something on the internet, and you think, oh, I need to do this right now, and suddenly you're spending like 20 minutes browsing the internet doing other things and not actually doing the work. So what I like to do is I like to just write down when I have this like little things pop up in my head, this little ideas of what I should be doing now. I write them down, and sometimes, my God, I have like 10, 15 things written down, and it just shows me like how crazy my brain is that it just doesn't want me to do the work. It just really wants me to procrastinate. You write them down and you just think, okay, I put them on the shelf, like the shelf, the mental shelf, for later. So that is like such an easy habit, but it literally helped me so much to decrease procrastination. Then planning your week and set intentions for the week. Life-changing. I procrastinated on planning my week because even planning my week felt like a lot of work. But honestly, it's actually really fun. Like you just set yourself like an hour a week, maybe on a Sunday, and you just sit down, maybe in a cafe, in a nice coffee shop with a little treat, and you just like plan out your week. I love to color code it in Google Calendar or Apple Calendar. Sit down and really give yourself that time. And this is also self-care, self-love, self-respect to like plan out your week. Your brain needs focus. Your brain needs intentions. Otherwise, it's just completely overwhelmed. It doesn't know where to start. It doesn't have focus. And what happens is you just procrastinate. You don't really know what you're doing, so you're not doing anything, and we don't want that. It doesn't have to be completely rigid. You can obviously be flexible, but you want to have an overall idea of what you're going to do on what days, but have some sort of routine where you're getting clear on this is what I'm doing today. The next thing is not so much of a habit, more of maybe like a way of doing things or a mindset. Setting action goals, not result goals. So what I mean by that is that we often have results goals. I want to lose X amount of weight. I want to make X amount of money. But instead of setting these goals, because oftentimes these goals are out of our control, we cannot really necessarily control them. So what we want to do is you want to create goals that we can control, and these are the action goals. You think about the result that you kind of want, and then what is it that I need to do in order to even get to that place? Okay, so we want to like reverse engineer the goal, and then we focus on those actions that we need to take. And what we can control is how we show up every day, what we eat every day, how much we eat every day, how much we move every day. These are action-oriented goals when it comes to weight loss, for example, or weight maintenance. This is what you want to focus on. When it comes to career, how many applications are you doing? How often do you maybe review your applications? How much do you show up for your side business? Like if you want to be a content creator like me, how often do you produce content? In my case would be post one video a week. So we don't want to just do the same thing over and over again. We also want to adapt, we want to evaluate, and we want to improve. So an action-oriented goal could be, for example, to get up at 6 a.m. and do a workout, or at 6 a.m. and sit down and work on your side business. The next chapter is beauty. One really tiny habit that really is so life-changing for me is just putting on mascara and a little bit of blush every day. A little bit of mascara and a little bit of blush is doing so much. You already look so much fresher. You feel more confident. When you see yourself in the mirror, you're like, hello. Sometimes it's really like the idea of the minimum baseline, which means that you do the minimum rather than nothing. So the minimum for me is mascara and a little bit of blush rather than having no makeup. But it just makes me feel more awake. It makes me feel more confident. It makes me just feel like my future self. And you need to be careful with the idea of perfectionism, that I'd rather do it full on than not do it at all. It's always better to do the minimum rather than nothing. You always want to think about, okay, I'm not really wanting or able to do the full thing. Now I have the urge to do nothing because I think it's not good enough if I not do the full thing. That's a lie your brain tells yourself, and you need to be like, okay, what is the minimum that I can do? Dress every day. Dress in something nice. You don't have to like wear like a beautiful gown. Something that is not a jumper with stains on it or holes in it, or like this old jogger that you've had for like 10 years. I love comfy clothes as well, but just like putting that little bit of effort into wearing something nice, a nice blouse, a nice shirt, a nice jacket, and that just elevates you, and you're just gonna feel so much better. Think about like when you wear something nice, like how you move, how you like behave, completely completely different vibe. So I love doing this like the night before, like look at my wardrobe and be like, okay, who do I want to be tomorrow? What am I going to wear tomorrow? Just having that little bit of extra love and care for yourself. And the last chapter is eating. If you know me and my content, you know that I love talking about healthy eating, stopping to overeat, and eating is really important. I'm a licensed nutritionist as well, so this is obviously a topic that I'm really passionate about. When it comes to eating, there are a few micro habits that really changed my life. And my waistline, I was able to lose over 20 pounds just by incorporating little changes. First thing is to focusing on fiber and protein in my meals first. It really helps you to keep you satiated. It helps you to nourish your gut. Your gut health is literally the most important thing to focus on. Fiber is really important for your gut. I'll have a whole video on this. Instead of like, oh, what am I going to eat? I'm just eating what I'm always eating. Think about, okay, how can I now prioritize fiber and protein in my meals first? And then after that, you can eat whatever you want to eat, but like just focus on these priorities first. Completely life-changing. And then micro habits to just stop overeating. Putting your fork down or your utensil down while you chew. Try that for a whole week, and then you will see how incredibly different your eating experience is. Another habit is to just leave food on the plate. This will be really challenging for you, especially if you're a plate clearer and you overeat. You eat more than you're actually hungry for because you have the urge to finish your plate. But practicing to just leave one bite behind is really challenging if you're plate clearer, but it will be really life-changing. Also to get used to throw food away. To not be like, oh, I have like 2 bites left now, just like force them in. These are all calories. This is all food that your body doesn't need when it's full. It's okay to throw food away if you do not want to eat anymore, if your body is not hungry anymore. What it shows you is that you might need to like cook smaller portions, that you might need to buy less groceries. So it's also a sign for you to maybe make changes to the way you do things currently. The last thing is to set a timer when you finish your meal. Basically what you want to do is you want to set a timer on your phone for 20 minutes because 20 minutes is like the average time. Your body signalizes, like your stomach signalizes to your brain that it's full, that it had enough. Or maybe you finish your meal within 5 minutes, but then it takes another 15 minutes until you actually realize, oh, that was already enough food that I ate within those 5 minutes. So you like keep eating and eating and eating, and you then feel like overly full. In order to slow down, set a timer, put your fork down after each bite, chew properly, enjoy your food, look at your food. Don't be distracted by watching the telly or watching something on your phone. And then you will notice when you took 20 minutes and there's still food left and you are actually like at the point where you're like, I'm satisfied. 80% full is better than 100% full, just in order to like feel light and energized after a meal. Because actually what food is doing, it should give you energy. If you feel like drained and tired after food, you need to look at your eating habits. I hope these micro habits were helpful and give you like some ideas, some inspiration. And if you like this kind of content, make sure to subscribe, and I see you soon. Bye!